Argentina well. Yeah.
Represented boxing well. Thank you. Final thought. What are you going to do with all these belts now?
Could be fighter of the year. We went back and forth. He landed some good shots, and it just let y'all know.
Oh, God. Practice mode. Practice mode. We'll work on some shit. Practice mode. Practice mode. Shit. Get my groove back. Lost my groove. Lost my mojo.
He made me choke. Happy 85th though. Oh God.
Nigga say 85th though, you wild, boy.
Why I open up practice with the same play every time?
I do the same shit, bro. I do the same.
They all the way would give me the same fucking play every time.
We got an action filled. Let's go. Quick show, then we got a game to play. Playlist. Who you got this week, Hitter?
Them Cowboys.
Oh, yeah, he don't want that gift? What?
Nah.
You talked to him? You already reached out?
Nah, I reached out. Yeah, you know I did. And you let that happen. What happened last season?
Sure. Let's go. Live and direct. Let's get this show popping. Let me talk shit. Talk my shit. Talk your shit. Talk your shit. GETA, talk your shit. No, something else. Last time that I checked.
Last time that I checked. The marathon continues.
Appreciate it. It was no smut on my breath last time that I. Thank you, babe. Last time that I checked. That thing look good. Where's yours at? You coming up with it? Damn. Just got them shits, what, 2 days ago, 3 days ago? Let's get it. We almost there, almost to the conversation. See how many niggas kicking it with me tonight, man. See if we can bring some of these haters out, man. See if we can bring some of these fucking haters out, man. I got some live interviews of players in the league that Skadimes talk to. We got coaching interviews, talk to some of these coaches out here, all types of shit. When week 3, that means I get to edit the draft class again. That's about to be available too. I get to go to work on that. See how my work don't stop? It's always something for me to do. Always. I'm always working for you guys. You know what I'm saying? That's my job as a commissioner. Get it popping. Make sure we got the last time that I checked, we got the best league around. Last time that I checked. There's a bunch of y'all niggas that know that too. Last time I checked. This that. Buy that back. This that. Where my nigga Craig at? Max at? Nano at? Falk at? Where my niggas at, man? Where y'all niggas at? Where my nigga Young Camden and them at? Where y'all at, niggas? You know y'all running around on Saturday, streets. You know what I'm talking about? I just want y'all to know what y'all hear in the background is a person putting in work right now. No, he ain't in the game. He in straight practice mode. Getting it the fuck in. Getting prepared. All right, coach. Welcome to the 2031 season. Week 3. Where some guys started off hot, some guys starting off not. Some guys are so-so. Some guys like how they playing. Some guys like their team. All types of shit. Some guys might got that team right now, but didn't have a great start off to their season. But it's a long season. Literally only 2 games been played, right?
2 games.
One of those teams is the Washington Commanders and Coach Hitter. Let's see if I can get him off. Get the coach to come over here from practicing and see if we can kick it with us for a second or two.
Yo, IBG, they old ass nigga.
Appreciate that. This nigga said I'm 85. I'm like, damn.
Damn.
Mm-mm.
He only had it like 1 or 2 years.
I'm like, I ain't as old as Devin White. I ain't as old as Devin White. Damn.
Man.
That nigga 30, 354. And dog years. Yo, hit it. Can I interrupt you, coach? Can I interrupt you from your practice mode right now, man?
Yeah.
All right, man. You know, the Washington football team lost 2 tough losses in their first 2 games right now. We heard a comment after the game was over, and you got to do your press conference with the media and shit in Washington. And you told Larry Flisby that you're not upset with the 2 losses, and that you felt like your team was there to be able to win any of those 2 games, and that was your fault that you have to get them better prepared. Is that true?
Yeah. Well, one of those games we didn't show up at all.
All right. My question is, when your team don't show up or respond, how do you get them out of that mentality? Because that seems like that's a player thing.
You just try to motivate them. Tell them don't hang their heads on one game. Try to keep moving forward to the next game up.
You came out of having a good off season, man. When we early on like this, we do the diaper dandy conversations all the time. You guys made a late move before the regular season was over and playoffs was over to slide down to the number 4 spot in the draft. What was it in this draft that made you think Luther Burton would not be there later on in the draft to make you come flying up to get him?
Luther Burton was just one of many on our radar. It just happened to be that the dominoes fell how they fell. With him being available, it still came down to 3 players, and we did a little deep dive and looking at our roster, and we decided that Burton was our guy to take first.
So this wasn't a move that happened so you can come get a Luther Burton. So you saying you came down to the 4th spot with multiple players in mind, and it just happened to fall that way.
Yeah. And he was the guy. He was the guy that came out the hat. So yeah, that's who we went with. Be happy with our choice.
No doubt. Now, being happy with that choice, what's the expectations for a receiver of his caliber? Some say he was the #1 receiver in the draft.
Just to come in, learn the offense, and contribute if he can. We're not gonna put too much pressure on him.
No. Now, coming out of the draft, how do you feel the Washington football team, GMs, owner, coaching staff, and scouts did after the draft was over? How did you feel?
Oh, they did an excellent job. It's just coming down to implementing this new system we got going on and trying to see what works and where.
Is the new system because of new coordinators? Like, is something going on we don't know about? Did somebody get promoted, demoted? Like, what's going on? Or is just the same
No,
coordinators are there?
same coordinator, different type of scheme, different looks. We experiment with different things on the field, offensively and defensively. Just trying to see what works. It's kind of a Lego game going on here.
Hold on to this, because if you're gonna pull that hold on, you're gonna pull that burger, you don't want to spill your burger. I'll roll the bud up. Just, oh shit. There we go. I'll carry that up. Go ahead, I got you. All right. Oh, you got it? Oh, okay. I was trying to carry it for you. That shit rocking too. Oh yeah, watching you right. All right, so coach, I know you're busy. I know you got work to do with your team right now. What do you say to your team that's sitting here 0-2, and literally you said one game they just didn't show up, the other game chips fell where they fell at. What do you say to your team to motivate these guys to play this end game rival, or is there no motivation needed when you play the Cowboys?
It's still early in the season. We still got a long journey to bye week, so we can't get depressed about what's already happened. Just try to move forward to the next game. That's nothing too hard about that.
No doubt, no doubt. All right, Craig, what's up with you, man?
What's good, my boy?
I don't know. I just know you my co-host today, man. I want to introduce y'all to our 3-time Super Bowl winning champ. The first to do that this year, win 3 in a row. You heard? He's a 3-time winner right now, man. The only other teams did something like that was the Dallas Cowboys. I think the New England Patriots as well, and now those Tampa Bay Buccaneers win 3 straight. Big time accomplishment, man. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
You know what I mean? All right, so you guys went in the first round. Y'all took Jaleel Billingsley. For those that don't know, he was one of the better receiving tight ends in this draft. Definitely was the fastest tight end in the draft. Also, Alabama player who transferred to Texas for his last year before he was selected by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at pick 32. Let me ask you, 99 reasons, man. The best tight end that this NFL has seen since Gronk. His injury before the Super Bowl, did that have anything to do with you deciding to go tight end in this draft?
Absolutely. It just showed me, that I needed to have, depth at the tight end position. I put so much on 99 reasons. It's like it was kind of a wake up call to not have him, and then to realize he's turning 30 this year. It's like as sad as it is. I'm gonna have to try to find somebody to not necessarily replace his shoes, but at least be able to produce like he does.
You're gonna have to turn your mic on, man. I was just checking to see if I can hear you. I think your mic off. I couldn't hear nothing you were saying. Yeah, I'm listening to the broadcast. I couldn't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I think it's your broadcast, Craig. I think you have to broadcast it. He can hear you through the YouTube.
Share audio.
You can't hear me through the YouTube now.
Share your audio.
Like your audio. Oh, somebody else said they hear you. Yo.
Yeah, I'm about to say. My shit should be on. I'm always
Oh,
on.
nah, you good. You good. I don't know if I'm in the... Oh, I'm in the wrong show. My
Yeah,
bad. I'm in the
I
wrong
think
show.
no, he's
I'm in the wrong
he's
Now,
fucking
what you
show.
he
what
get,
you smoking, bro? What you smoking?
I thought I changed my title to motherfucker. Here we go.
I just read
I'm in the wrong show.
I just read the chat. Max said you got it on private.
Who do?
He's an
Hey,
asshole. It is an
no
asshole.
way.
I got what
He
on
said I
private?
got. No,
No,
he
no,
It's
said
a
Max.
joke,
it's
man.
an insider, man. It's an insider.
Man, I want to laugh. I missed it. What's what on
Bro,
No,
there?
you said I just read the comments. Max said you got it on private.
Oh,
yeah.
got him. Shit. Yeah, you're an asshole. Shit, gonna call me the Baltimore Bills.
Damn. The
Hey,
Baltimore
yeah.
fucking Bills.
You gotta unlock your voice, man.
Unlock your
Oh
voice,
man,
dog.
you already know how I feel, bro.
Unlock your voice. It's banging, right? Fucking banging. All right, man. My boy Skadimes had some exclusives for a couple of players in the league, man. And we're gonna go through these interviews and let my boy Skadimes kick it for a second right now. Before I get into it though, Craig, man, let's talk about the state of the Dolphins right now. That's where we're going. Before we let Skadimes have his interview with quarterback Butterfield. We're gonna go there, man. All right, so as a commentator, man, what's your opinion on the state of the Dolphins franchise right now?
Um, for me, I would tell him don't panic, cause I think that he's trying to right his wrongs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
He made a lot of bad decisions and drafts and team building. And I think at this point, you got to right all your wrongs in a league where a lot of people already got it right.
Right.
So
Okay.
I feel like he just got to keep with the process. And I think in doing that, he'll find his way back to winning more games and losing and being back in the playoffs again. But it's not going to be easy.
It's not. Now, in my opinion, my humble opinion and shit. Hold on, I forgot to upgrade this fucking quarterback. He got that kid. Let me get that taken care of now. But in my opinion, man, I think. Let me ask you this: was the downfall? Appreciate you, folks. Appreciate you. Was the downfall letting Marino? Marino lost his starting job. Now Marino was the dad. Dan Senior said, "My son is politics that's playing a role in this. They went with a new offensive coordinator. Sorry, I got you. All right, if you're not on, you got your upgrade, bro. I appreciate you. I forgot to give you your shit after the draft was over and shit. My fault. But again, Dan Marino Sr. was quoted saying, politics played a role in my son losing his starting job, not the fact that he was outplayed to lose it. New coordinator came in and he was off that raid offense. He was off the pirate, everybody run the raid, especially in the Big 12. He came from one of those schools and shit took over from Oklahoma actually. And became the offensive coordinator for the Dolphins 3 years ago. And in the process of that, he wanted a dual threat quarterback. And the owner was said to make this move. The head coach didn't want it. But the owner wanted them to go in a different direction at the quarterback spot. And that, to me, was that the first mistake?
Yeah, for surely. I think losing Marino was. I mean, moving on from Marino so prematurely was. For me personally, I would have never did that. I feel like that was a bad GM move. I think that. I mean, for me personally, I'm always a believer. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, like.
Right.
I understand that some people want to get that mobile QB, and sometimes they want to have that type of offense. But I mean, people already feared your offense as is. You know what I mean? And
Yes, yes.
I just think when you try to add more and more to it, I just think in that process he could have used them picks on a complete team when you already had a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was just a mishap by him. And that's one of the fucking wrongs he's trying to right now. You know what I'm saying? So,
Well,
yeah. Yeah, man.
I agree with you 100% on everything you're saying. The tell-all was when Dan Marino played in the playoffs after
Yeah,
not
he
playing the
tried to
whole
put him
season.
in. Yeah.
That was the tell-all right there. Because if you recall that game, Dan Marino brought that team back. And they
You
lost on
should
the
not
last drive.
remember.
Baltimore Ravens went down and scored on the last drive, but he brought them back. My thing would have been, again, you can't write that shit, right? I think Marino, I don't know if he's still part of this team or not. They got rid of him. I would love to find out where Marino is in this league right now.
Yeah, my thing is, if you was gonna get rid of him, or if you was gonna move him from Marino, you should have got at least 2 players in a pick, or play a pick. And like, if you gonna
Right.
do something like that, if you gonna move on from somebody like that, especially at a time where not everybody had a QB back then, you know what I'm saying? Then you know what I mean.
Wow. Let me ask you this. Before we get back to the Dolphins, Dan Marino Jr. is now, oh my God. We might have shook something up here, Craig.
A
Dan
Bronco?
Marino Jr. is now, asshole, is now a motherfucking Green Bay Packers.
Facts. Yeah,
Wow.
that shit. Wow, I didn't even know that. He play with him?
I'm about to find out right now.
I probably not. You probably play with the young boy.
I'm starting him.
But
Fuck Dustin
I
Crum.
would.
I'm starting Dan Marino day one.
I would have.
I'm about to go see right now. I love the storylines we get in our league, man. Oh my God, I didn't mean to go to that. Fuck. It's where Max is needed at. He'd already been on that
I ain't
shit,
even
right?
on. Yeah, I ain't even.
No, don't worry. I'm just happy you co-hosting right now. So,
Yeah.
if Dan Marino is the starting quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, man, that's a big time story right there. Let's go to depth chart. Follow me. Nope, he's not. Oh my God.
Okay.
He's not the starting quarterback. I see, I get it, but I'm sorry. They have a situation now where they got, to me, you send Dan Marino over there to the Packers and you might be in a quarterback controversy situation. Right now, it looks like Dustin Crum still owns that job. But I don't think you're not going to see Dan Marino playing football again. And how many quarterbacks that guys moved on from too fast that became a bona fide backup and never really see the field anymore? I think Dan Marino, I think once he becomes the starter over here for the Packers, you're gonna see Karma. He got T-shirts out called "Karma is a mother effer."
Facts.
I mean,
See that shit back. Yeah,
but
he don't got no.
this conversation isn't about the Green Bay Packers. It's really about the Dolphins. But the fact that Dan Marino is in a situation where he can compete for a starting job, and I mean, he's 30 years old, Craig. He got 4 to 5 strong years of being a starting quarterback in this league if he could, if he didn't fall off.
Yeah, I think some people just go with the way this league, like, it's almost frowned upon to have somebody 30-year-old. Period. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So
right,
it's
right,
like,
right. Right.
sometimes you just all go with the flow, because even myself, I have a quarterback that I'm just like, all right, he's 30, he still got 4 or 5 years in the rush, but I'm ready to look for the next one.
No doubt, no doubt. All right, so let's look at the Dolphins starting lineup right now. All right, we're going to save Jason Butterfield for a later conversation. We're going to get back into it because the Dimes is going to talk about the interview you had with him. All right, so they got Spencer Moss. And remember, they had a running back over there in Noonan East, who my opinion is, you got to think about it. When they decided to move forward from Dan Marino, they still had Noonan East, and there was guys on the show asking for him.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just go play the what-if game. If he traded Dan Marino and Noonan East at the same time, do you know what he would have been able to do in those drafts?
Whatever he wanted.
Oh my
Literally.
God.
Whatever he wanted. And he probably would have got maybe a linebacker or a corner or a speed
Mm-hmm.
corner. He could have got whatever he really needed, if that he's lacking right now, you know what I'm saying?
He could have turned 2 players into 4 picks.
Yeah, man.
Now, Their backfield is legit.
It's legit on paper.
Right. Okay. Talk to me.
It's legit on paper. I just think that if the Dolphins took the time to put a running game in, at least some type of running game in there, on top of their pass, I think it would open it up way more for them. It's way more. But, you know, you got some dogs back there that will never know that's truly dogs until you use them as that. You know what I'm saying? You know, I see he's been, has 2 games, 28 carries, 140 yards. Spencer Moss is the only one who touched the ball. I don't know. Who, man? I don't know. I just think that.
I definitely think that Pacheco should be playing with Spencer
Yeah,
Moss. I think it should be a
Pacheco.
2 system, especially when you.
Yeah.
All right, listen. Spencer Moss, 185 pounds, Jackson State running back. He can do some things for you, right? You know, 90 break tackle, 86 trucking. You have to be in the business of development, right? When your roster is not complete and you look at it and you say, this is the roster that's going to take me to the playoffs. This is the roster that's going to get me the division again. If you're not looking at your roster and saying things like that, you have to be in a development game. Like, you have to be in the development business. This guy's been on this roster for 3 seasons. His development is coming from being on this roster for 3 seasons, not developing because of being utilized for 3 seasons. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think Pacheco should be a major part of his offense, along with Spencer Moss. Both of them together.
Well, Pacheco, he's going to give him that. He's going to be able to put tank on him. He's going to be that big guy that you need, that's necessary to me to have and be utilizing. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, the Dolphins don't even got to get too far away from how they play. They can find things in their shotgun and their spread formations. You got everybody spread out, bro. And you can run. Nobody's expecting you to run, bro. So I mean, you could really open up your run game, man, and you know, not people cheat you, overtop you, and take away everything you like to do because they know what you gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think you should really look at that.
I think when we talked about, you know, Jalen Waddle, I'm gonna say this. I think they picked up Danny Green out of free agency. Danny Gray, I think he played for the Bills, or somebody. I know somebody drafted this guy, or picked him up out of free agency, but he's a speed demon. You have now at this point now the Dolphins. I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. The Dolphins is in great shape in their wide receiver room right now. I mean, they have speed everywhere, Craig. I mean, Danny Gray has 98 speed, 98 himself. Deion Smith proved himself to be the next Waddle, 97, 99. You got Nathan Huffman, 97, 96. You got Arthur Forbes, 95, 98. And then, look, young gunners, Gary Bryant. And then Jalen Waddle is still on his, even though he's 30, he's still on that. I could keep him at least a superstar, right?
Well, he deserves that.
98 speed, 98 excel. He still should be playing. Do you think so?
No, he has to learn how to play without Waddle. He has. I think that was one of the things that was a crush for him, man. It's not. You rely so much on Waddle. Like on 3rd down and 4th down, I knew what I had. I knew where I had to go. You know what I'm saying? And I think once you learn how to play without Waddle, it makes you more dangerous because you're not targeting just one major player. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, Waddle was always getting open. I don't give a fuck you double team him or not. Somehow, some way, that motherfucker always got open. So it's kind of hard to not throw it to somebody like that. But you know, when Waddle was watched, it was like who else was getting separation besides him. I think that was kind of holding him back to be a complete passer.
In that sense, I agree with you. I think Waddle should always not be an afterthought this second. Here's the thing: if their season goes good and they got a shot to be in the playoffs, I think Waddle need to be a part of it. But if it's, you know, they starting off 0-2 right now, and if they, you know, if they get to a, you know, they can't really turn it around in the next 3 games, then I think you go ahead and move on to your future. But they're doing a really good job. Now, I just played this team. You know, they're doing a really good job with the receiving weapons they got on the field. I mean, Huffman touched the ball. Smith touched the ball. Gray touched the ball. The tight ends got busy. I like the direction they're headed in. They got a young tight end they drafted. and Jermaine Terry from out of California, who I think was going to be an up and comer. With the 95 special catch, he can play in their system. The one thing he did this year was he grabbed system players, guys that can come fit his system. So what he did was he built around the quarterback he traded for. And let's go there. Let's talk about it. You know, the dual threat speedy quarterback didn't work. They sent him to they sent him to the Las Vegas Raiders. And in return, they picked up a quarterback that the Raiders they drafted him, but he was an afterthought. He was a guy that's just a roster filler that's bringing him in. He's too good not to be on our team. No way we can let this. We're in the 6th round, 5th round. There's no way this kid is not the next guy off the board because he's that good. And what happens when you get a player like that, even though he's not going to be able to play or fit in your system, right?
Yeah.
But you can trade him. What happened? That's what happened. The trade happened. Now, Butterfield is exactly Dan Marino clone.
Marino. I was about to say I feel like he went from Marino to he tried to go to a mobile QB, back to a Marino type. And it's just like, damn, bro, you just would have kept Marino. I mean, nothing you could do about it now, but you know what I'm saying? You kept Marino, man. You would be in a way better situation right now.
Think about it like this. They went and got the hometown hero at cornerback. They went and picked up Deuce Chestnut, who was a great fucking pick. You got to pick it. You play in real life. You play with the guy. He walk the halls with you type shit, right? So you know the guy. So I love the fact that young Camden and Flo, they tore the Jersey boys up in that draft. And if you're not listening to me talk about them and nothing like that, and you're not from Jersey, you probably don't know who they are. They did. They won. And they got a couple more drafts back to back that's coming like that. But I'll say this. I thought he did a great job of building. He rolled out with Jason Butterfield. This is what he did. When he picked at 8 and picked the cornerback, he decided right then and there Jason Butterfield is the guy they're going forward with. Now, let's talk about Bailey Zappi from out of Western Kentucky. You do realize he threw 62 touchdowns his last year in college. He was 70% his last year in college, threw more yards than damn near anybody ever in college football. He's that good. Just he played at Western Kentucky, right? Definitely think I shot Marino way too early. Yes, sir, you did. Now,
definitely.
What they did, in my opinion, was they built their team around Butterfield, and they already knew they had the weapons there, really. So they didn't have to go crazy nowhere on the offense except for the tight end position, which I love what they did. I would say, my motto, weapons or protection. It's always that when you got a quarterback, in the building. But Zappi can play, and they have a serviceable backup that can actually play if they work him. And I know he should be a superstar for sure. If he's not, he's going on superstar. And I should have been to that. He's a dog, bro. Like, I gotta find out where he went in real life, but I know somebody got him in real life. But anyway, now you got the backfield. I will say this: spend time working on Isaiah Pacheco. You got to play the hometown hero as well. Got to put him on the field. Got to play him. Got to get him right. We'll take a deep dive into him again. Then went to the Patriots. Bill Belichick type player. Yep. All right. So like I said, the receiver room is clean. We like the receiver room. They got superstars and speed everywhere at the receiver. We like the tight ends. We go to the offensive line. They picked the rookie up, Ben Chrisman, big time player out of Ohio State, superstar, dog. They kind of got the line. I don't think they need help anywhere on this offensive line, so I'm gonna slide past it. The Dolphins decided to go defense, and I'm gonna say this: when you plan the New England Patriots twice a year and the Buffalo Bills twice a year, you gotta get a front 7 to be able to stop that run, and you gotta get DBs that can run around with the Buffalo Bills offense, that high octane flash and grab offense. That's what I call that. That's that. Keep you in it, motherfucker. You don't flash is like this is the play, but the grab is like psych playmakers to death, did this to that. You know what I mean? Like it's all over the place, and that shit is a scheduled offense that seems like it's not. Like it seems like it's more like wild cowboy plan when it's really all within his game of how he plays. Like it's a reason for it. So they did that. So you got Nick Nasty's here, you pick up, some young guys there, DeMarvin Leo at the tackle, and he really could play either or defense end. But Jordan Burch is in the building, and we like him. His development is going great. At the D tackle position, you're still dealing with Sapp. You got Neal. They're pretty solid on the front. I do think they can still address this a little bit more to get a little deeper there. But where they won that, in my opinion, where they won that was on defense. They went defense heavy. Now, again, you need to stop the run, and you got to be able to run around and cover the passing game of the Buffalo Bills. When you're looking at your division, I'm not looking outside of it. All right. Wendell Dale is here. He's been in the league for 6 years. He's the X factor, 92 overall, 90 speed, 89 excel. The talk last year before he had his draft was, get faster at the linebacker position. So you go get Noah Sewell in the first row draft class. Great pick, fucking a monster at linebacker. But then they pick up Kendrick Blackshire. And then those that don't remember, he played for Foe's team last year, the Vikings. But this kid at 14 years old looked like a fucking NFL pro football player at that age. He's that big, that good. You will hear from him in this 2022 season in real life from Alabama. He's going to be on the field. He's that good. Well, he picked a dog up here because you got a superstar, and he played. We had him at outside linebacker. He moved in the middle. So now you got Noah Sewell, 95 overall, 91 speed, 95 excel. A guy that at 96 hit power. And you pick up another kid with great hit power and can move, 90 speed, 92 excel. 92 change of direct and agility. Kid's a monster with 96 hit power. That more of a guy that can get to the quarterback and really play the run more than really drop back. He's going to need work in the passing game, but he's there. So now they got their DN, they got their linebackers. I like what they got over there. Then they picked up Bloodline, Yannick Carliftis. Now his brother went to the Giants in our league. He's a first round graded guy. This kid is exactly that too. So now, in my opinion, their linebackers are shored up right now, right? I think they can get depth at the defensive line, but their linebacker, that front seven is better than his look in years. They relied on their safety play to be able to play to make up for what the linebackers can do. You remember the whole coming down, hitting you with the motherfucking dive tackles and all that shit, and their safeties not big enough to play sub linebackers, but had more tackle for losses than any other safety. Like they were relying on user skill to stop everything. At this point, you need help from the AI now, right? You need the computer players to make plays for you. At this point in where we at, I think they got the players that once they're developed and built, they're going to better make the plays for them. So I like what they look like up front now. Their front seven is solid. They took the 8th pick and they went and got Deuce Chestnut. And you could argue was a top 3 corner in this drive. You can argue that, flat out argue it.
Got some speed, which you need.
And he's an X factor. He's unlocked already. When you're looking at the man press and zone, he's there. 80 man, 85 zone, 88 press with the arrows up. Catch the ball really well. 6 foot. We got a guy, again, I know everything about this kid. I watched him play all his years in high school for Camden High. But, we're dealing with a guy that comes in and he becomes a number 1 or number 2. So 2 years in a row, they go New Jersey High with their players. Tarheeb Still, another New Jersey player. Both these kids are legit corners, man, and I think they can be Pro Bowl corners for this team. Now, let's talk. When the Dolphins was at their best, what was the position that they had that was the best?
Corners.
They had the corners. Howard and Jones. They had the corners. Now they're back to that. This is why you always come back full circle to Whitworth. Now they got the corner play. Both of them. They got 2 legit corners. As they grow up, you're going to see 2 guys that are going to become shutdowns. And they can get the play out of these 2 guys the way they got out of Jones and Howard. Then you're back to something, right? At the safety position, they went and traded for Jalen Petrie. You got him. Rivers that can play the sub package. You got Shaw down here who can play the sub package as well. And then you still got Bubba Bolden over here as well, too. So I think they're legit at where they need to be at when it comes down to the defense. They took care of it. Now, let's do the scenario if. Let me ask you this. This draft had a lot of cornerbacks in it. Would you say yeah to that?
Yeah, definitely. To me, I seen a lot go out.
Would the perfect world look like this? At 8, they picked Arch Manning. And then in the second round at 8, they picked a starting corner there. Because they could have got another starting cornerback at 8 in the second round. For sure. Right?
They picked one more quarterback.
I'm just saying, perfect world to get an Arch Manning. We understand he rolled out with his decision, and I think it's going to work. I think Butterfield is going to give him everything he needs to get back to track. But, in a perfect world, Hitter, what you think? In a perfect world, Do you think he could have did that? Like, I mean, he don't do it because the guy he got is personal. You want the guy you know. That's your guy. You went to school with this guy, you know who he is, right? Could have got 5-star. 5-star went in the 5th round. We had the number 1 quarterback on the board go in the 5th round. I mean, shit, Arch Manning slid to pick 31.
So it's like 32.
So let me ask you, in the perfect world, like me, if I'm GM and this is how I'm doing it, I would have looked at the cornerback room and I would have put 4 cornerbacks in my sight. If I can't get this guy, I'm gonna come back. You still picking in the top 10 in each round. Let me ask you this: is Deuce Chestnut there in the 2nd round?
That's the thing about the draft. You never know. You literally never know. That's the thing about it, man.
The reason why I'm saying it's a gamble you could take, but it would have been a gamble I would have took, is because it wasn't like he was a 1st round corner. He was a 4th round corner. So he was down on that board. I think he would have been there unless somebody that knew, he from our area would have picked him. But you're coming back in the 2nd round at pick 8. I think I would have took that gamble. You know what? I'm getting Ewers, Arch Manning, one of those guys. I'm getting that quarterback there, and then I'm coming back. I'll get my corner in the 2nd round and then go down and keep going. Or let's play the game of the board did what it did. At some point, you had quarterback sitting there, Ewers, that goes to the Lions, that's not going to play it down there yet, I don't think. That went in like the 4th round, 5th round. Would you have used the pick on the quarterback then, Craig?
Yeah, that's more logical to me. You know what I'm saying? To use one, but for me personally, I would.
Now, he didn't do neither one of the things we're talking about right now. But what he did do is tell us, I like Butterfield. I'm going to ride the wheels till the wheel fall off for right now. I'm going to build around him. I'm going to
And I
build a
think that's
defense.
important for him.
Mm-hmm.
I think he gotta really stick it out. Like I think he
Mm-hmm.
gotta stick out. Let them gel too. I mean, I love I love his cornerback room. Like
Yes,
I never
sir.
paid attention. I
Yes,
seen it.
sir.
If you let them build for 2, 3 years with each other, man, they're gonna be. Ain't nobody gonna want to go against that. You know what I mean? Like you just gotta let them gel, keep them together, and keep building them, keep playing them. Like at the end of the day, the way to build them is playing.
Now, with all this conversation we talking about, in my opinion, man, I think he had a great fucking draft.
I do too.
I think, look, man, if you could soul up one side of the ball and one draft class, to me, that's an A draft right there. If you can you can get your defense set and look at your defense and say, this is my future. We're gonna be all right over here, and really see it. I think that he did a great job, and I really like, what he did, and honestly, to address every need he needed. Honestly, in my opinion, the Dolphins did a good job. Now, my thing is, it comes down to time and the schedule. How much time do he get? Like, if you put yourself on a schedule and you in the Dolphins situation, how much time do you give yourself? How many seasons do you give yourself? Where it's like, by season, after this draft we just had, next year should be the turnaround, or the year after. What would be your time frame? What would be your schedule?
I think next year he should be fighting for his division. I think this year you're gelling. You're playing with a lot of rookies on defense. You just had a great draft.
Hmm.
Grow them up to be grown men. And by next year, you should be putting people behind them. You should be ready. You know what I'm saying? I think next year is his window.
Yeah.
Um, Bill Butter, Bill Buttermilk Biscuit.
Right,
That's it.
buttermilk biscuits. Let's see what buttermilk biscuits can do out this bitch. So then it comes back down to this. Jalen Waddle is the veteran. He's the captain of this team and all that. Does Jalen Waddle need to be playing, or do you think he need to completely move on from him to get used to playing without him?
Yeah, Jalen Waddle. He just has to be a mentor. You know what I mean? He got to teach these young guys and train these young guys and show them show them the steps to be as successful as him. And I think it's just, Jalen Waddle's time to sit back, you know what I mean, collect this check, uh, train these young guys.
But look, let me ask you this: why is it not somebody in the league that thinks like this? all right, I got a 30-year-old. I had 30-year-olds on my team that had abilities. I got to keep one. But it's a 30-year-old on somebody else's team that he keeps stability on him, but he's not planning, that I can go trade for right now and have two 30-year-old veterans, high overall, high awareness that can play right now. Jalen Waddle still is the starting receiver in this league at 31.
I mean, he can definitely start. He's still a dog. He's still Jalen Waddle.
I don't understand why nobody else sees that though. Like, why wouldn't somebody come get a Jalen Waddle right now? I mean, obviously, it's a 1 year rental, so you're not gonna give up much. You can't give up the house for him and nothing like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, maybe a fourth round, fifth round, maybe
I
two. You know what I
mean,
mean? Something like
I
that.
mean,
Get him up out
you,
of
you
the.
gotta you gotta find somebody
Future fifth.
that wants to win right
Yep.
now,
Yep.
and also that is willing to sacrifice not building a player for winning. You feel me? Like
Yeah.
why pick a Jalen Waddle if I could build a guy for the next 4 seasons? You know what I'm saying?
If I'm the
So
Panthers or if I'm the Seahawks, I'm coming to get a Jalen Waddle. It makes all the sense. We just, with the Seahawks, he just played in the playoffs. To get back there, why not bring a veteran in on a 1 year, 2 year rental? You know what I'm saying? For a fifth. You know what I mean? Because you could be like, look, it's a gamble, but if I don't have the season I had last year, you might be getting a top 10 pick in the fifth round. You know what I'm saying? Or you might be getting a playoff pick in the fifth round. But however it is, you're getting a fifth for somebody that's going to get cut off your roster. And I think, that helps the receiving room of the Seahawks. That got that young, explosive wide receiver group. That helps them, in my opinion. Or you look at it like they got two 29-year-olds or 28-year-olds over there already. You may not need them. But you don't think the Panthers could benefit, when they go get the quarterback they went and got in the draft, it's going to start day one for them, could benefit with a veteran like this on their roster plan right now
it
for them?
it would benefit, but I would have to really see the Panthers pass. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like
right.
he gotta really develop his pass game. You know what I'm saying? Before he even could think about receivers and all that, I just think he really gotta build that shit up, man. Like,
Yeah, I know if I'm the Dolphins GM, I'm on the phone with the Panthers right now, like type to talk, like type to look. Give me a fifth, bro. Come get Waddle, help your quarterback grow. You know what I'm saying? You got a veteran to throw to that's still, better than 90% of the league right now as a receiver in this league. All right, we like to listen. The Dolphins in my book, man, I give them an A right away when it comes down to what they did this year's
mm,
draft. So shout out to young Camden fighting his way back to get back to the top of that mountain right now, man. Um, let's continue to talk. We'll start with the Dolphins. We go down here to them Philadelphia Eagles right now. Craig, where's the Eagles at? Where's their state of mind at right now? Look like they one
they,
and one on the year.
yeah, I don't know the record, but the Eagles, they're climbing the ladder in my opinion, man. They had a great season last year. Um, they're climbing the ladder. They really are. I just really would want them to get over that Giants hump. Um, but
Hard hump to get over, man. It ain't
it's
easy.
a hard. It ain't
Yeah, that
easy.
nigga
It
study
ain't
his ass
easy.
off, boy.
It
I
ain't
mean,
easy being
that's.
McCheesy.
I mean, I just want him to just keep developing, but he's definitely got way better at developing his team and building his team and drafting and all that. So his team's on the up and up. His team can match up and line up with anybody at this point. Um,
One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight receivers on this roster. Now let's talk about this for a second. Their first
Yeah,
round
two of
pick
them
was
gotta
Evan
go, but Elver
Stewart.
Nandy.
Evan Stewart was their first round pick. All right. So look, you had the senior go from Oregon at 6'5", right? He was the number one quarterback on the board. Wasn't the best. I mean, one number one receiver on the board, but he wasn't the best. All right. So you can look at the best three receivers in the draft on the board. The next four that was lined up was the better ones. So we're looking at Luther Burden, who could arguably be the best receiver in this draft. Then there's Evan Stewart, who can arguably be the best receiver in this draft. Then you had Kevin Coleman, and then you had Demas. I don't know where he went. I think he went to the Rams. I think Dumas, who actually played for Texas A&M and transferred out. Now the Eagles picked up Evan Stewart, and they picked him in at pick 27. All right. Um, just because I'm saying he's one of the best, it could have been. He's definitely a top five receiver in this draft. doesn't mean I seen him as a first round pick. I didn't think him or Kevin Coleman would have went in the first round. I thought we would see them drop to the second solely because of their height. Now, Richard Schwartz on this Eagles team is 27 years old. Rondell Moore lost his abilities at 31. Dorian Parker lost his abilities at 30. Now you're dealing with Jaleel Foster, who we've never really seen step up to the forefront of this team to show us that he could be a 1, 2, or 3 yet. Right? You drafted Kayshon Boutte 2 drafts ago. He's a dog, so let's stop there right now. What role do you see him playing for this team right now? Where's he's at as a receiver for this team and the quarterback that they got over there? Because Boutte's a dog.
Yeah, Booty's a dog. One thing I will say about that Eagles team is they throw to whoever's open. You know what I'm saying? I will say that about them. So
That's all fine and dandy, Craig. But to be able to beat the Giants, you got to really know your receiving room.
yeah, that's true. That's a fact too. That's a fact too. Where he's playing them at, I have no clue. But he got a lot of good weapons on here. I don't know who's his go-to guy. I don't know if he puts them in if
He
Booty
got he
is his
got
slot
everything he
guy.
need to move on. Look, you
Yeah,
got Theo Weiss, E.J. Williams, Keyshawn Boutte, Evan Stewart, and you can still play with Richard Schwartz. So in my opinion, I think Jaleel Foster will be on the block if I'm him. I'll put him on the block, and I'm riding out with these receivers I just talked about. You got to see
he don't
what
got to
E.J.
catch
Williams
yet.
can do for you, right? I don't know why they all got wrecking ball on them as receivers on their X factors, but we'll see. But Theo Weiss, 6'2", you know what I'm saying? He's a gift. He's a dog from Oklahoma. E.J. Williams, Clemson, big body, 6'3", 200 pounds. Booty is it could play 1, 2, or 3. He could play the slot or any of the outside receivers for you. Evan Stewart, I mean, he's a dog, but he's a rookie. So I don't know, how the Eagles feel about him yet. I'll just ask him. Coach Rob, Rockin' Robbie, how do you feel about Evan Stewart?
He's a doggy.
Is he on the field right now?
Bruh, my starting lineup is Schwartz, then the Stewart, I mean, my 1 and 2. Booty gets on 2 action, but he's number 3. E.J. Williams is number 4. Foster's only in 1 formation. Put it like
Foster's
that.
what?
He's in 1 formation for real, not just to get him on the field. But ain't nobody coming to get him.
What about
Had
Theo
something with the
Weiss?
Dolphins, he didn't want it. Theo
Nah,
Weiss
we're not
is,
going. Nah,
yeah.
one negative conversation right now. We want to know what the fuck's up with
No,
Theo
it's
Weiss.
good. I'm just saying what it is. But Theo Weiss is on the bench.
He hasn't earned that. He hasn't stepped up yet to earn that role to play.
No, he can't separate. He can't even. No, he ain't there yet.
All right. So Theo Weiss ain't there yet. So obviously this could be somebody else's player. Just because it don't work for you, it can work for somebody else.
Right.
Somebody else's trash is somebody else's treasure.
Right.
E.J. Williams only in 1 formation with at 6'3" at this point. Like he just what is it timing? Like he only been in the league for a year. So these guys still got work. You know what I mean? Like it's not like they can't be those guys in the future. But right now he's not. I love the Evan Stewart situation. And you're playing him as a number 2 versus the slot receiver?
Evan Stewart is so like all right. If we come on 3 wide, he's in slot. If it's 2 receivers, he's the number 2 type.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
All right. 8 receivers on this roster. 5 of them are that can actually get action. Total of 6 that really can play. So let me look at it again. Schwartz is your number 1, right? He's the guy. He's the guy that, in Philly and Brotherly Love, they buy his jersey if they're not buying your quarterback's jersey. All right, so Rondell Moore, the veteran. Dorian Parker's a veteran. They're here to mentor at this point right now. But when you moving forward, when it comes down to your quarterback, who's your quarterback's favorite target?
I mean, I don't like giving that out, but if it's all on the line, it's Schwartz.
Whoever
Sports is
open,
fast as
right?
fuck, boy.
Fast as fuck, boy.
Schwartz is fast as fuck.
Boy. My thing is this: just sometimes, sometimes receivers become your like in Baltimore, our number 1 receiver isn't our my quarterback, the quarterback's favorite target. What happens is the way our style of play dictates who's number 1, right?
Yeah.
So maybe I don't know how y'all program is ran over there and all that though. But
So what I'll say is Schwartz is becoming that because he has no choice but to become that because my go-to was Parker, but you see he's no longer available to me. So now it has to be Schwartz.
Schwartz broke out last year, though.
With that being said, he did break out, but there's still fumbling issues. He get his stick, he won't cough the ball up. So it's like the quarterback's we're trying to build a little trust with him. We're trying to trust him. We're trying to give him a chance, but right now he's not that far off from Stewart, to be honest with you. He just got a couple of speed advantage, and
Can we get a quick story? Your draft, you at 27. What was on your board at 27? Like when
27.
not what as the pieces fell off the board, then your board. So I want to know coming into the draft before you even had to get to see who went 1, 2, 3, 4. Before that happened, who was your targets?
My number one target was a receiver.
Mm-hmm. And at 27, you got possibly the best receiver in the draft at 27.
And honestly, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, some lucky shit, because I didn't know what the fuck I was looking at. But that's what it is. I got him. He's a dog.
Talk about it. Why you feel like it was lucky?
I feel like it was lucky because I hadn't scouted him. I had my eyes set on a specific receiver and in my mind. And my mind, the way I was processing it is if I didn't get that receiver, I was just going to go safety because I needed to replace Savage.
Okay.
So another receiver really wasn't even on my radar at this point. So for the things, for it to fall like it fell, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not mad at the pick at all.
Right.
Like,
I think it goes back to what I was saying. Like, you had a guy that was down at the bottom of the draft, right? And two other guys that was down at the bottom that went before the actual best. So this is what happens. Luther Burden goes 4. Kevin Coleman goes 5. Then you had guys to me that would have been there, went before the next 3 guys that should have went. So you had, Chad Ochocinco's son, who should have been a first round pick, possibly was. I know, I don't know. He wasn't because Mike had his board set for all the niggas that had NFL names. He was already on them. So he went in the second round. But you're looking at Demas, you're looking at I would say the Jackson State boys, and I think it was 2 other receivers. Then we had a 6'7" receiver that actually went to the Chargers in the first round. So he really did fall to you, but it goes back to my theory. I thought Kevin Coleman and Stewart would be second round picks. Somebody would get those guys in the second round. I don't think the height on those guys would have made them high, high picks like that. Now, you got to get a Kevin Coleman whose speed is, the way it is. Evan Stewart whose speed the way it is. Luther Burden was really the Terrell Owens or this year's DK Metcalf. That's how that kid is. Physical, fast, great receiver, route runner, separate, and he can out physical you. And he can play in the slot or the outside. Went number 4. So when he went off the board at 4, you're saying you had no more scouting available to you when it came down to the rest of the receivers. You automatically was like safety. Now what happened? Why didn't you draft the safety at 27?
Because the safety that was probably worthy of it. Well, I think both of them actually went before. If I'm not mistaken, I think both of the safeties I was looking at went before I even got to my pick.
So was you looking for a specific type safety, like it had to be a guy that can come down and play sub linebacker?
It was a sub linebacker, the weight class type. Okay. That's what I was looking for.
All right.
Because I have a lot of people that can play back. I ain't need that, but I needed a specific sub because Vaughn was approaching 30. As you can see, I had like three potential good players.
Right.
Well, approaching 30, with more being 31. So I had a choice to make. None. I only got to keep one of them. So it was either receiver or safety I had to attack, and ended up just being receiver. So
no doubt. Yeah. Now the safeties that had sub linebacker potential all went in the first round. Yeah. I don't think it was one left by the time we got to pick 32.
I think there's only 2 to begin with. So
it was you had 2 strong safeties, and you had 1 free safety that I can remember offhand. Jonathan Flo. You had Sony Styles.
Right.
And you had the kid Kendall something. I can't remember his name. Kendall something that went to the who he went to, the Packers or the Saints or something like that. Let's see what flag. I think the Niners grabbed him. Yep, the Niners grabbed him. And grabbed another one. I don't know why, but he grabbed it. look at it. All right, so it was Kendall Daniels. No, he went to the fucking Rams. Rams had a good draft too. Kendall Daniels, Jonathan
Yeah.
Flo, 6'2", 225. Kendall Daniels, 6'2", 215. Tony Styles went to the Cowboys, 6'4", 225. God damn. So your division took both the players. You got
Yep.
Desmond Igbenson from Rutgers, and then you had Amari Harvey, and then Tyson Johnson as strong safety. You look at the free safeties. Actually, Flo was a free safety, but we'll look over it anyway. Damon David, Corey. Oh my God, we got him too. Oh my God, Camden, stand the fuck up. Andrew Mukuba, Gregory Great. Oh my God, Donovan McMillian. So it was literally Arnold. It was McMillan from Florida, Gregory Great from Jackson State, and then Jonathan Flo, who they got moved to strong safety already, were the top safeties, free safeties, and then you had down here undrafted Corey Palmer, who went to Temple, who was really a standout receiver that got moved to safety. So he dropped far as Kuiper grade wise, but he was one of the best safeties in the draft, as you can see, 91 overall. So yeah, so you were limited to how to the sub package safeties. And the problem is this: if you're looking for a sub package safety, 90% of the guys in the league that want a safety is looking for the same thing.
And that's right.
So once that happened and you got back to the Evan Stewart pick, you feel like it was lucky because you had no idea what type of player you was actually getting. Is that what you're saying?
Right, because like my scout process went receive one receiver. I think I scouted maybe two of them safeties, and I went somewhere else. But like I didn't have enough scout points to really scout the rest of the receivers. So, but knowing I had to attack one of the two positions and just seeing how the safeties was just falling off the board, and I was just like, man, gotta grab a receiver. Like, you know,
No
I
doubt,
looked
no doubt.
into it and I made a pick.
Now
And
you
this is
come
what it
out of this
was.
draft with a potential the best receiver in the draft. Again, we say potential best receiver in the draft. You come out of that, you continue to go through your draft. How do you feel the Philadelphia Eagles made out after the draft was over?
I'll say, well, out of the whole draft, I got three players I could play right now. So, I mean, that's a win in my book. Like,
Yes, yes, sir.
I
Who's
got
those three players? Evan Stewart,
Evan Stewart. I want to say it was Munden, middle linebacker. He could play
middle
right now.
linebacker Munden. D. West made him
And then
famous
I got,
last year. Georgia, he's a
and
dog.
then I got the left tackle. I believe he's the left tackle. Yeah,
Savion Bird. Oh God, yes you did. Oh yeah, 90 overall already. Yes sir, you got your dog there. Are they all three of them guys starting?
Well, Bird and Munden are getting reps, and Stewart's like he's a starter. I'm about to work it in there because looking at who I got paid, Munden's about to get way more action than previously projected. Bird, I'm just trying to figure out I want my guard or tackle still. So right now we just trying to figure out where we gonna play him at.
Yeah, I
Because
would
as you can
probably
see, my
move him
line
down to the
run is
guard.
still
I would move him to the guard, give him a year at guard, then pull him back out to the tackle when you're ready.
right.
All right, so we're looking at the Philadelphia Eagles, man, a brother city of brotherly love, man. How do you feel about your team and where you guys are headed? You've been putting it together for the last 3 seasons where it's really looking good over there. You look like you really have a team that can compete with anybody in this league. Um, and you built it. You got veterans, like you said, you're looking to replace and all that. Is there an in season trade on in the works because of Von Teller being Von Savage being 30 years old,
Um,
or can you replace him with Sam McDuffie, the corner turned safety?
well, as you can see, he's 29 right now, so he'll be 30 next year. I'll be the next issue.
Shit, he out
Um,
here.
yeah. So I mean, I got a couple pieces I can move around. If somebody offering up a safety, and I'm here to listen. Like
No doubt.
specifically, Sims can go, and
Now
little
you
linebacker Sims can go, and all
you
that.
did a great job in the draft, getting Kobe Bryant, Cincinnati corner, trading for Alante Taylor. one of the better corners in draft 2. Draft 1. I'm sorry, excuse me. You picked up Isaiah Johnson. Do you feel like this was a sleeper pick right here? Nice little pick.
Isaiah Johnson, he turned out to not be too bad as far as speed and all that. Like considering that he was like what I want to say he was like a 4th or 5th round pick, if I'm not mistaken. So for where I got him at, he's definitely a good pick, a great pick, honestly.
I mean, you can't teach height, man. Teach height. I mean, you're looking at him, he has 80 man, 80 zone, 83 press. Like, he can be worked in. You see a 22, 27-year-olds on your roster. They're still ready to play. So I get it. I get what you're saying here. But the reason I'm talking about your cornerback room because I think, through your struggles, that was a position since year one. Year one, you had a great cornerback room, right? And then you went through with the Lowrys and those guys trying to figure it out. But this time around, you look at it, it looks like it's here. It's available to you. You got the guys that can actually play football and do some of the things you need to do over there in Philadelphia, the way y'all play defense there. Why was it important for you to get this cornerback room situated?
Just so I'll be able to play how I like to play. I like to use the middle linebacker. I don't want to have to like always like be looking, looking in the backfield or looking at the receivers, like looking at my guys getting ran past and like at first I attacked height because my division they got the trees.
Right.
Everybody in my division got the tall guys, and then eventually I was like, man. I got the trees, but sometimes you just gotta attack the best corner. So the fact I was able to like make out the way I did with the trade and getting Kobe, and Kobe turned into a valuable number 1 for me, and then like able to put Daniels and Butler in the slots, it's a big turnaround. Like
so your strategy is to have your taller corners playing slot corners here. Butler and Daniels, like you said, they play in the slots. Why is that? Like, what's your, without giving out too much, what was the theory behind, let's put the taller guys but they both can run. I mean, they're two of the faster corners, in the slots, and on the outside where those 6'5", 6 receivers really be at, they're not covering them guys.
Right, because when I thought about it, like when you think about it, like a lot of people, there's not a lot of guys in this league that are willing to take the deep streaks. You know what I'm saying? You got certain people that would do it, but for the most part, like, they're taking streaks to the tight end, they're throwing corner routes to the tight end, so now I got a nice tall corner with decent weight and decent speed to run with the tight end, and also could cover the slot receiver at the same time.
So you're not talking about it as a man-to-man shutdown situation. You're looking at it end zone, those guys, where guys really try to get their shit off at.
I'm looking at it all around, man zone.
Oh, okay.
And then also it played out that way because like I learned like through just like learning through y'all guys, like sometimes you want to get your rookies on the field, so they happen to be Kobe and Alante, so they automatically went to 1 and 2 their first 2 years. They got thrown right into the fire.
So they're not getting burnt all up by that slot corner receivers and shit because they just not good enough. I get it. Yeah.
That too. So it just ended up working out for me. Like they developed how they were supposed to develop, and then at the same time, I got Caleb Daniels and Butler, 2 decent corners that were able to shut the middle down, and for me, it just helped me develop the defense a little better than what I was doing.
I understand exactly where you're coming from because I was that way. If you remember, Anthony Israel, then you remember Steve Israel, right? And even Derek Stingley, those guys. Had damn near double-digit sacks from playing in the slot. I would do it that way. I would put them in that slot, build them by blitzing them, things like that, making them play in the run game a lot more, getting more action to get them built more than just trying to, get interceptions and win the interception and all that. Just getting them built by putting them involved, and then I would slide them out to the outside corners and then when they're ready to lock down that way, right? But I like your theory. I like what you're saying. And I thought about it, and what you're saying makes sense because with Travis Hunter, I didn't do that. Travis Hunter's playing number 1, number 2 right now. And I didn't put him there because I just think where the league's at right now, those guys are good in the slot right now. You don't want to get him work. Like I played today, he got some work today. it wasn't no man-to-man situation for the most part. He did play man, he did a pretty good job, but the Dolphins were throwing the ball to a lot of different receivers today, which I really thought was a good sign that, with Butterfield being that quarterback, that's a good sign for him. He was getting worked over there, you know what I'm saying? He had some work over there to deal with. You saw it yesterday against the Seahawks when it became fourth quarter, game over, one-on-one. Let's get him some work. You saw you saw what the fuck happened. So them rookies can get it to get their asses took too. No homo. They can get it.
Right.
You got to be careful with them. It was a few plays that in my game against the Dolphins today where it was a click-on situation, like guaranteed pick. Like you'll see that next year and he intercepts that ball. Versus this year, my guy still caught it. You know what I mean? For a touchdown, took it to the crib. But you know the animation you get where your guy pick it off, but they never let him pick the ball off. The receiver still catches it and shit.
Right.
Like on a post route or something, and you undercut it and all that. He do everything to pick it off, but pick it off.
Exactly.
That's rookie shit to me. Like if he's not a rookie, he makes that play, and 11-point game turns a little closer with 4 minutes left, and we're looking at a dog fight. But yeah, in a sense, that's what it is. So look, you playing in a division where you got a guy that run the ball like a motherfucker, right?
Right.
When we talked about building your team, you talked about stopping these big ass running backs in your division. Every team you play got one of those monster big running backs. Every team you play in your division at the receiver position got somebody 6'4", 6'5" on the outside. So when you say build for your division, to win outside of your division, it's perfect in that sense. Now, you had, back-to-back years of 2 D tackles that's played lights out in their rookie season right now. Do you feel like your front four is built now because of Jordan Davis and Cape Hart?
I feel like they got growing to do, but for the most part, it's there. I see it. You can see the potential. Like you see the presence of Capehart and Davis. It's such there's such a huge presence that they free up my ends. Like so,
right.
Isaac and Cameron, they get them nice little shads. They get the one-on-ones, and that's a problem in itself because now you're thinking about double teaming one of these guys.
Yes, sir.
And you call you double team one. So, I mean, even then, that's still like, you know what I'm saying? So, it worked out how it's supposed to work out. Like,
for years, they talked about the Philadelphia Eagles needed a front seven. For years. I mean, we can go at least 4 seasons straight where we screamed that. They got to get a front seven. They got to get a front seven. They need a front four. They need a linebacker. They need a front seven. And you attack that. You got the real draft, and you really made that work over there right now. Do you feel like the scheme of defensively, what you're doing, is easier to do now that you got the D line up to par? Because you got speed off the edge and big speed and monsters in the middle that, like you said, make it hard to double team. Do you feel like your linebackers run a little free now because of the deep tackles you got?
I feel like everybody running a little bit more freer because now we don't gotta send the 6th or 5th man. We can rush 4
and be good,
and it can present a problem for
right. All right. Now, the best player on your team is your quarterback, DT. All right, talk about him. Let me hear some confidence out of you right now. Do you have a top 5 quarterback in Philadelphia?
Yeah, he's trying to be paid like the top 1. But yeah, he's a top 5 in my opinion.
What are you asking for?
$324 million.
God damn, these niggas are trying to rake the bank right now, man. Is he worth it though? Do you feel like he's worth it?
Yeah, I mean, he is. It would kill me to see him on some other team, so that's not gonna happen. I'll franchise tag him 5 years if I got to.
Right.
We gonna find a way, but yeah, he want that bread right now.
All right, so I like what you did. Let me ask you before I give you the grade I think you get in this draft. What do you think your grade is? How you feel like you did in this draft?
In this draft as a whole, like I said, I got three legit starters, so I'm somewhere in the B tier. I give myself B minus. I'm somewhere up there. My back end wasn't as pretty, but the fact I got 3 people that could like really play right now, that was a win in my book. So,
okay. And you know what I like? I like the fact that you did get a top 3 receiver in the draft. You did get him at 27. That was huge. You got the number 2 linebacker, not overall graded linebacker, but the number 2 linebacker on the board in the second round. Monday came in the second round. Smell.
Was he the second round or third? I don't want to say he probably was second. Yeah, second, because I didn't grab the lineman until third. Yeah,
And then you
he
got
was
the
second.
lineman in the third round.
Right.
All guys that are capable of playing. But I just think as a whole, you got to look at your last 2 draft classes and see where you at with it right now. I like it. I do think it's a B. The person I'm trying to see on your team do some things for you though is I'm trying to see what Adissa Isaac is really like. Being a top 10 pick, and you drafted the fastest defensive end in the draft that year. But being a top 10 pick, some might have say maybe you reach for him.
Yeah.
Is he a bookend though? Like, can he be one of those guys that we got to consider? You got to look at it. As a rookie, 3 sacks. He comes back last year and had 11 and a half. I think those 11 and a half are strictly credited to those 2 D tackles. Starting off slow this year, 1 sack, but we only played 2 games, so that's not really a slow start right now. But with the speed of him coming off the edge and them D tackles in the middle with the presence like that, do you expect him to have another big season? Because he had a big season last year.
I know for a fact he's gonna have a big season. Like I said, you gotta pick your poison up front. Like I got 4 dogs right there, and they're all attacking us quarterback, and you gotta make a decision. Like I don't think you got all day back there either. Like they're chasing things off the edge. You know what I'm saying? The speed comes in a factor. 92, 93 speed. Like, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Junior, your ass still up? Because that's the last team. Help me out here, Rob. I want to talk about this Cleveland Brown team, man. They're up and down team. They can win big games. We've seen them do it. Last year, they beat me and you last year coming down the stretch. They pretty much beat whoever was lined up in front of them coming down the stretch to get themselves into the playoffs.
Right.
They moved on from their quarterback. Their quarterback ended up being on the Bucks bench. I don't know if he's still there. The Bucks did. We'll talk about that in a second too before I get out of here. Nah, he's not over there anymore. Okay, he's not there anymore. So let's go to the Browns real fast. And they moved on with Matt Corral. All right, coming out of that draft, Matt Corral was one of the top 5 quarterbacks in that draft. In year one's real draft. All right, he sat for 2 seasons, and now he's finally on the field. And he's playing his 4th season right now. Let's look at the numbers of Matt Corral last year and what he did. Worked his way into a superstar X Factor ability before he got to the end of the season, and then things went uphill for him there. Almost 100% QB rating, 5,139 yards in his first year as a true starter, 43 touchdowns, 37 interceptions. He was sacked 52 times though. What does Matt Corral have to do to take that next step? Right now, you're looking at 6 touchdowns, 8 picks, though, 5 sacks, with an 86.6 QB rating in 2 games. What does Matt Corral have to do to take the step and make sure the Browns know that they invested in the right quarterback?
What do he need to do? I think his learning curve gotta, speed up just a tad bit. Like, you gotta start enhancing that passing game for him. He start taking more, or even do what you suggest. Like you say, cut the field in half. He can be that type of guy. Cut the field in half, 2 reads, and get out of there. He got the speed for it. Just enhance that West Coast system he like to run. I feel like Matt Corral's the perfect quarterback for him.
Perfect quarterback for the West Coast offense.
Right, sir.
Perfect, because look at the size, right? Look at the speed on him, and then think about Steve Young.
Yeah.
Think about Bill Walsh and Steve Young. Think about Montana retiring, and before he retired, he went to the Kansas City Chiefs because Steve Young got it was his time, right? Same story. Stanton was the guy, got them to a couple of playoffs, but they were stagnated. 2nd place in the division every year. Either it's an if, almost like the football team. At the end of the year, they either gonna get in or they gonna find a way to lose it to get out of it, right? And that's where they were. That's where it was at with Stanton. And they did the same thing. Stanton moved on. I don't know if he's in the league as a starting quarterback anywhere at this point right now. He might be a bona fide backup for right now. But they moved on from him because, you know, at times it becomes that guy's time. You can't have him on the bench for his whole career. Figure out who he is. And they did exactly that. And they, you know, they went through the fire with him. You know, got rid of Stanton, didn't give him the contract he was asking for, let him roll, and use Matt Corral. And Matt Corral down the stretch showed like he was one of the hottest quarterbacks down the stretch on one of the hottest teams down the stretch with the Browns.
Right.
So now he's the starting quarterback over here in the perfect system, and waiting to see, you know, him have a breakout. Was last year a breakout season with those numbers?
The back end, I feel like he found himself and found his rhythm. So, I mean, I guess you could kind of say that, like, at least half the season was a breakout.
Yeah, what I saw was a team that gave us our first and only loss of the regular season last year, where we were winning the game 28-6 and lost to them. Then we played them right before the season, right before they went on their run to make the playoffs, and we was up 21-0 on them and won that game by 7 points, 6 points, or something like that, where he showed what he can do as a quarterback. And then down the stretch, the last 3 games, he was lights out. Now, you dealing with a quarterback situation that you had to run with, and they did the right thing, in my opinion. In the running room, they traded for Tony Mooney, and he's been a monster back for this Browns team since he's been there.
Dog.
I mean, you keeping a guy like Brian Robinson Jr., who was literally the first back in the draft last year. He was, in his draft class. The first real draft class, Brian Robinson Jr. from Alabama, was absolutely the first running back, the number 1 running back in that draft. And, you know, he's still holding, you know, Moody is still keeping him from being a 25 carry guy every game. So we know what Tony Moody can do. He's that good for this team over here. They got, you know, they really got 3 really good running backs over here because Damon Pierce from Florida is a pretty good back as well. So, you know, as we continue to look at it, now it's safe to say that their backfield is legit.
Yeah, they legit. Moody alone, I didn't see the backup, but Moody alone, bro, he's a problem.
He's a fucking problem. He do a good job all 3 phases as a running back, right? And pass pro, he's good. And then as a receiver, he's good. And as a runner, he can do everything. He can kill you with speed on the edges, or he can run in between tackles. I really do like Tony Moody over here. And they got 2 good running backs to be able to bring in off of Tony Moody. When you look at the wide receiver room, though, Anthony Schwartz is 30 years old. He has been quietly their number 1 receiver. But to me, they do a good job. And again, West Coast offense, the West Coast style of offense is almost, if you ain't got a Jerry Rice on your team, is almost like, you know, weapons. Who gets open gets the football, like y'all do in Philadelphia.
Right.
You got guys like Justice Keys, 98 speed, 99 cell. You got Eddie Holt, 97. You got Sterling Nobles, 95. You got Eric Horn, and they drafted Jaden Peyote last draft, not this draft, but the draft before. My question is, do you look at these receivers, Rob, and see somebody on this roster that could take over Anthony Schwartz the moment they're done with him?
I see a couple guys, honestly, but do he see it?
Right.
I see it.
I think Eddie Holt will take that next step. They got the receiving room to run the offense. They got the running game in the receiving room. And, you know, let's not forget that, you know, 6 years ago they drafted the tight end number 1 overall in Zach Wheaton, who's playing for him right now. They're deep. Oscar Gore's here, and then they picked up Jalen Conyers. So they got 3 deep at the tight end position. You look at their line, left tackle, 32 years old, but they got the backups behind him at 21 years old. They're cool there. Left guard, solid, really solid there. They drafted Powers Johnson from Oregon, who should be a superstar. No, he's not. He's star. Oh, he hidden. He should be a superstar. I remember that name, man. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me put some pimping in it. Come on. Show me who he is. Yes, sir, superstar. Now, they lost Rocky Gray, their D tackle. He's been there. He's been there for a while. He was in the 2nd draft class. He's on the Chiefs roster right now. So I want to know if they replaced it. I like their offensive line. They're solid there. All right. Now, when you look at the defensive line, right? When you think of Cleveland Brown and defensive line, what do you think of?
Uh, defensive line, I think of fucking, what's his name?
Miles Garrett.
Miles
Yeah,
Garrett.
yeah.
Miles
His
Garrett
name was,
has Miles Garrett's been a Buccaneer for a couple of seasons. I don't know if he's still out there. He might even retire. Who knows? But when you look at their defensive end room, you're looking at Jarrett Knox, who's been in the league for 6 seasons. You got Vilami Vahoko, been in the league for this will be his third season. Braylon Ingram. You got Vince Strong, who's 28 years old, been in the league for 7 years, and Tyrus Wheat, who's been in the league for 3 years. All right. I don't think they have a name at the defensive end. Their edge rusher, there's not a name that you can look at and be like, because all those names I named, none of us, even me looking at it, knows who they are,
yeah.
right? So that means they
Okay.
got to be a group. They got to do it as a group,
Right.
right? They lost Miles Garrett. They lost Rocky Gray. They replaced the D tackle Alani German, superstar. He's been in the league for 5 years. Steve McQueen's here. Looking for one of the real draft type of players. All right, so they picked up Damon Payne, superstar from Alabama, 6'4", 227, 83 speed, 83 excel, 99 strength right now, 86 block share, 85 finesse, 89 power move. So they kind of got the D tackles. Well, this is a line by committee, in your opinion, Hitter or Rob? Or is there a guy on here that you get to see being a standout name of his own?
This is a committee until he invests in Payne. I think Payne should be, I don't know if he's starting right now,
Right. I'm putting Payne on the
but he
field right
probably
away.
should. Yeah.
If he's not my number one, he's my number two.
Right, at least.
What about
This
this?
package up. Yeah.
What about this? Since Alani German has been in the league for a long time, I mean, 6'3" probably would keep me away from it. But with that speed, could he play defensive end for them?
Yeah,
And you
definitely.
start
What's the
McQueen
shed?
and Payne?
His block shed 93? Yeah, definitely.
Oh my God. Yeah, let me
Yeah,
look at these
he should
DNs
go right
again.
there.
Yes, sir. That's what I'll do. I'm doing that if I'm him. Now you get, I would start Knox, and I would start
If you look at their block
Knox
shed,
and
look at their block
Alani.
shed
Yep.
instantly. Like, the half block shed's 92 over here. No, get
Yes,
him over there.
sir. I'm starting Knox and Alani at my two ends, and McQueen and Payne at my two D tackles. The one thing they didn't have that they needed for sure over here was the linebackers. That was the one I would say they were weak at, linebackers, when they had Denzel Ward and Greedy Williams, and they had the kid from Northwestern. All those guys that came in the league when we first started, they had some good corners. But their weakest spot on their defense, in my opinion, was the linebacker room and the safety room. They picked the number one left outside linebacker in the draft, and possibly the number one overall linebacker in the draft, and C.J. Hicks from out of Ohio State, 94 speed, 94 excel, 94 hit power, 85. But this kid's a monster, bottom line. I'm not going to sit and go through all his numbers. He's the X
Yeah,
factor once
fast
he
as hell.
unlocks. He can also coverage. He got 85 zone right now, right? You're looking at man cover 75. His pressure is very high, so if he get his hands on you, it's a problem. Jumping out the door, 95. I mean, this kid's a super athlete, 80 tackling, 97 pursuit with the +3. I mean, he's a speed demon. 85 finesse move, 80 power, 85 block shed. Like he's legit. They did it. I mean, he comes in the
That's
league right
scary.
now as a rookie, the 50th best lineman ranked right now as a rookie. That's saying things, and he's not even unlocked yet. That's saying things. So they got themselves a dog. They addressed this. I'm assuming this had to be that because I know he ain't fall to the second round. This had to be his first round pick.
My question is he playing these guys, man? Because I see
Yeah,
one
pick
that was like
26.
117. Yeah,
Huh?
117 snaps right now. That's what it said.
I thought I saw that. Didn't you see that same shit, right?
That's
Hold on.
that's damn near preseason numbers. How many snaps is this guy getting? He's almost worth taking. Like, I think that's something I had to learn too. Like, sometimes sometimes you got a roster full of dope players and higher overalls. Tend to shy away from wanting to play these rookies.
He's starting, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if he's playing outside for me. I think I move him to the middle. right with Trenton Simpson. Look, 2 drafts in a row,
He's
they
my
drafted
user.
dogs.
Shit, 94. He's my
Yeah,
user.
so look at this. Trenton Simpson from Clemson was the #1 linebacker in the draft last year's draft, not the draft we just got out of last year. He got him. And then you pick up the
Oh
#1 left
shit.
outside linebacker in this year's draft, and you got him. Now, you got Derek Ryans, who's 29 years old, but 88 speed, and Eugene Asante, 88 speed. Let's look at the right before I say anything else. Callaway, 90-94, and then Kilgore that he picked up from the Chargers, not signing none of his players and acting like they all just left for no reason. He's sitting over here. He's a safety turned linebacker, 91 speed, 90 excel. Now, I like him. He's a little light in the ass, but you want him to be an outside linebacker for coverage. I'm not playing motherfucking CJ Hicks at outside linebacker. He's starting middle linebacker, and him and Simpson gonna be at middle linebacker if it was me. Because Jesse Batista can play outside linebacker for you. You're not losing nothing at 29 years old. You can work Hicks at middle linebacker until Batista's 30 and you can't have his abilities anymore. But if you look at this linebacker core, it's legit, and I think it's stronger than his D line right now. When this used to be the weak point for this team. Now,
yeah, that linebacker room was crazy.
He got a really good linebacker room over, and you have to when you play. You play in Baltimore, got speed demon at quarterback. You got to be able to have, you got to have some linebackers that can run around. Now, their cornerback room changed. They went from Ward and Greedy and the other kid from Northwestern, whose name's on the tip of my tongue, I just can't remember it right now, to changing over. They picked up Brian Nichols. They got him somewhere, but he was a dog last year. He was in the awards race last year at 20 years old. Akeem Dent went in the top 10 last year. Fred Davis went, he's another cornerback that went 2 years ago. That's a dog. Keandre Smith 3 years ago, and Josh Thompson. So you look at their cornerback room, they're all real draft players. All these guys are real life players. You're looking at Superstar, Super Shutdown, X Factors, another X Factor, and Fred Davis. My opinion, they got the cornerback room right now. They got it. And then they're, another weak point became a strength for them is the safety play. I mean, listen, Tyson Anderson has 97 speed, 95 excel, bro. He's a go. 23 years old. Raymond Riaz can play sub package for you at 94 speed, 95 excel at the safety position. And then you're looking at Isaiah Sands. They picked up Hammer, Nasiruddin as a veteran. I'll probably move him down. And you're a little too slow for the lineman. Silas Green. So they got sub package safeties. They got guys that can play back deep. This defense, from the linebacker level to the safety level, which you want, the lighter linebacker level to the safety level is pretty solid, and their corners are going to grow together. I like this team. I like what it looks like right now. Do you think they're in a situation with the team they got to run it back, get to the playoffs again?
They definitely competing. That team's scary for real. I mean, it depends. It also depends on how locked in he is. You got bowling tournaments and stuff like that too. That get in the way sometimes too. But
and something, yep, that's more in the way. 100%. The bowling missing game sometimes is in the way of him.
Yeah, but he got it. Sheesh.
Listen, they got to play the Baltimore Ravens today, and if it's something that I'll say, we all got a team that just matches up with us and gives us problems. All of us do, right? I would say when it comes out of my division, he's that guy that gives me a problem. For whatever reason, we have a lot of dog fights. It goes two ways, man. It goes, it can get ugly, or we're in a dog fight, or he beat me. 3 ways, my bad. Dog fight, ugly, or he beats me. He got to put. We traveled to dirty ass Ohio tonight. What would be his keys in your opinion with the Ravens coming in on a hot streak right now? I don't know 2 games, but these guys are hot. They're on a rebound tour right now, and they're playing good football. What are you saying to your team to get prepared for this game?
To my team, to my office, I'm stressing time management. Like sometimes the best defense is what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? Is
strong offense.
Smooth,
best defense.
not strong offense. It's like a tempo. Like there's certain tempo you got to come in with. Sometimes the best defense is keeping your offense off the field.
Butt ball.
Not butt ball. Like don't be snake.
Snake ball. Sorry, don't be snake. Oh god.
But just manage your offense and manage that clock to the best of your abilities. Like because at the end of the day, like your team is scary and they look good, but at the end of the day, you still playing them Ravens, and them Ravens look just as scary and just as good, and they got them guys that go up there and get it. Them 50-50 balls, they come down with it. So you want to limit those opportunities. So what you want to do is control that clock, keep Iverson on that bench, make him cold or something. Like that's the thing I'm stressing. Like, man, keep him on the bench.
Man,
keep Kerr on the field and Iverson on the bench. Let's go. You know what I'm saying?
The funny part is you're 100% right, man. But see, when you got a team like them that play the Baltimore Ravens twice a year, they're familiar with them.
Right.
You got a coaching staff that's comfortable and confident, right?
Right.
Coming into this game, and they don't fear the Baltimore Ravens. Can you use that as a weapon, though?
That's the biggest key.
You can use it as a weapon, but you can't let that cripple you either.
Right.
Understand you still playing him. Don't fear him at all. Like, I mean, like I said, like he beat you last year. He came back and made it a game the second game. Like, there's nothing from him to fear, but sometimes you can't go out there reckless either.
Right. Stay within your offense. I think the key to them are the development of Matt Corral. How does he process? How does he continue to grow? Does he have a full command of the offense? Can he open the whole playbook up, or do you have to cut the field in half still? And that's the key too. And the other thing is, who's your number one when it comes down to receiver? Who's your number one? And how do you scheme him open? Let me ask you this. You were going up against the Baltimore Ravens. They lost their Hall of Fame cornerback in Anthony Israel. You know, on paper, it's like the Ravens ain't worrying about losing that corner. They loaded that cornerback, right? But the number one pick overall, Travis Hunter, is on the field as a starter this year. Do you, as the Browns, put that in your meeting room with the quarterback and the wide receivers and talk about attacking a Travis Hunter? Or you have to, right? You almost have to locate him and see if he can play.
Right.
And see if he's ready. We know he can play, but see if he's ready to play. Then you got to figure out if the Ravens is he playing receiver that day or a running back or a linebacker, a corner.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, Rob, you attack if you playing the Ravens, right? And you're in this situation, you go line up against the Ravens. You definitely are attacking Travis Hunter, right?
Well, definitely, especially if I get him one-on-one on the island.
Man. I think, me personally.
Can't say hell no.
I mean, man, Travis Hunter.
I'm saying what I like.
When you play a team like the Baltimore Ravens, bro, no matter who is there or who isn't there, you take what's open, bro. You don't want to catch yourself in there trying to test a rookie or test something like that, bro. Play your game, play the game you always play. And you always play tight game with him. Don't get caught up trying to get that open. Go against that rookie guy. Them ain't no regular rookies over there, man. That nigga Travis Hunter is a dog. Yeah, fucking dog.
I think Rob.
I seen some shit that Craig didn't see.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I watched the game. I watched the Seahawks and how he's able to take advantage of Travis Hunter. But I mean, also at the same time, like I said, you know what I'm saying, Craig's advice is sound. Like you got to take the open player, but
100%
when you play them Ravens, there's not a lot of open players running around. So when you get in instances where where guys are glued to the receivers, sometimes the best bet is the inexperience. I mean,
we saw the Seahawks.
I seen the first half. So
we saw the Seahawks. You know, when it came down to all right, whatever, my dog against your dog, let's go. You saw what happened with a veteran receiver over there. 400 receiving
yards for one receiver.
In 4 minutes, he did that. 4 minutes. They didn't have. Listen, it was a 76-14 ball game with 4 minutes to go, and it became a one-on-one show. Your guy versus my guy, and he ended up with 468 passing yards with one receiver having 400. Yeah, who had like 439 and 4 touchdowns. Now, Travis Hunter had 2 interceptions and dropped about 4 of them, but
I don't think it's that if it's a 7-7 game.
Right.
I think it's because of that, because of the score difference. You know what I'm saying? In a 7-7 game, I think Travis Hunter's going to be more prepared and all that. So, I mean, that's just me personally.
This game's gonna be more so like he's going to know, like, you're on scheme to where he's not put in them situations. So.
Yeah, but
Maybe
Rob,
that.
if you follow the first two games, and I'm quite sure young Camden can attest to this too. We leave him on the island, bro. We leave him if we in man, he's playing his man. I don't give a fuck nobody over top. If somebody over top, we fine. But we're not like let's protect the young guy. Like we're like you're in the fire.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're in the fire. And that's why the Seahawks was able to do some of the things he did because he was, I punted the ball to him every time I got the ball back, punted it right back to him. He
Right.
played D, and I never had no over the top help. I moved my safety and ran away from him, and they just played 1-on-1. And he ran a whole fucking route tree on me, and me using him is not easy to fucking stop. Stop that
At
because you
all.
can't. You know what I mean? But he was on fire, and he had to double me on him, and it's 1-on-1. He's going to win that matchup a lot. I still think Travis did a great job in that senses, but we saw some rookie shit. When I played the Dolphins, zone or man, you saw some times where Travis just wasn't in the spots he had to be in. So I get it, and I really understand what Craig's saying. You have to, right? And this is the reason why he's three Super Bowls in winning right now because he don't care who he playing. He play his game no matter what. He plays the way he play,
Right.
and the way he's saying the Browns should play is how he plays everybody. And that's what makes a great guy, make a great coach, a great team. Simple as that. Like you got to do things like that. You stay steady, and what you do all the time, you ain't got to be prepared for nothing because you're getting prepared by doing the things over and over and over and over again until it's so mastered that it's like easy. It's hike the
That's
ball
damn
and
near
you know what I
annoying.
mean? Like it's just a pain in the ass. Have us
Yeah.
all talking shit after the game. Like this motherfucker over here in fucking Ellie. God
But see the
damn.
way Craig play, like, see Craig, he let the ball go fast. Like that shit's out. Like hype is gone. Like the Browns don't play like that. So like for guys like us that don't play quite like hiking and get the ball right the fuck out there, like sometimes it's a different method to it.
I mean, but it's still,
But
I
like
mean, don't get it wrong. Yeah, I do pass the ball quick, you know what I'm saying? But it's still, I'm looking for the open man. You feel me? Like, so if I see I'm in man, if I guess I'm in man, if I guess I answer man, whoever get open is who get open. If it happens to be who Travis Hunter is watching, then that's just who end up being. You know what I'm saying? But my mindset isn't, all right, I'm focusing on on who's matched up against Travis Hunter.
I
You know
just
what I'm
think
saying?
Craig's style of play is so mastered at this point right now. When we're dropping back and looking, going through our read process, it's still a thought process, and that little bit of seconds of thinking, overthinking, or underthinking can lead to a bad
yeah,
play.
and
But
that's a
Craig
sack
has his,
or
he
or
has his
user
reads.
recovering
He
type.
know
Yeah,
he
I get
know
what
what
you're
he
saying.
looking for right away when he drop back and know what he looking for. If he process man, I think his biggest thing at the line of scrimmage is you in man or zone. Because if you in man, he know what he doing. If you in zone, he know what he doing. And then the play calling, he knows his reads. He could probably close his eyes or don't even look at, not close his eyes. Let's not play. Let's look at, he can cut the field in half and still complete the ball to a guy on the left side without even knowing he open just by seeing what's happening on the right side of the field. That's being
Yeah.
considered a guy like Nano plays that in that way, right? But with the running and the same plays and this and that, but don't have it mastered like that in the passing game. You know what I'm saying? Like you can literally, like
Right.
we had a guy named Alvo that played that way, where he knew his reads, and to the point where he got blown out. Once we realized he knew his reads and he knew what he was trying to do, all right, if this ain't open, this is open. He was throwing it kind of blind. If you covering the running back in the flat, I know I got the corner out with tight end every time. And for some reason, he was getting that shit off. And then Falky cracked the Da Vinci code. And you know what he did? Added one more route to that whole concept. And now, if you covering him in the tight end, I'm going to this read. And it was always there. So, like, Craig has that part of the game mastered where a lot of us still are looking for our reads and see it wide open. It's so okay, it's open. And then all of a sudden, that window closed when the ball in the air. And you're like, what the fuck? Right?
Swear to
But the
God, especially with
process
these
up,
guys.
yeah. And especially with these players in our league, you're 100% right. But that's the game, right? And you have to be comfortable
Right.
in what you do, period, right? And the Browns have one of the better offenses in the league with the West Coast style of play he played, man. It's a really good offense, especially when you got a strong running back that can counter everything with you. It puts you in a situation. So this is gonna be a good game, man. Hopefully, we can pull it out right now. We're looking at our matchups is, we want to better stop the running back moving. And we need to make sure he's not comfortable having a number one receiver. We want him to have to throw to the open guy. We don't want him to get comfortable with a receiver. Like, we're going to look at Schwartz as, he's still the guy over there, 30 or not. Just because a guy 30 years old don't mean they can't play football no more. Like, why
No,
is
they can
that?
ball.
Why is that a thing in our league? Guys turn 27 and all of a sudden they just can't play no more.
It's kind of like, I
Not for
mean,
me.
it's
I
kind of
know
your
not for
fault.
you. We all know that. Definitely not for your ass. We know that right now. You got a 1,000-year-old player on your team right now. This nigga 1,025 years old,
Swear
still
to
running
God, he was
around
like,
there.
nah, keep it on him, motherfucker.
Keep it on him.
And I'll play
Keep it on
next
that
to him
down
2,000.
linebacker.
As long as he playing, bro, till 2,000, bro. I promise
Hey,
Keep
you.
it
hey.
on him.
Somebody,
You know
who was
me.
he playing? Was he playing T? When T was like, nigga, this nigga 45 by now. That shit.
Get him the fuck out of
Hey, yeah,
here.
that shit blew me. I was fucking down on the bus because I was watching that shit on the bus. But nah, yeah, that shit. Oh man, but no, it's kind of like
Plays, bro.
it's kind of the league's fault because it's like, first of all, you're pumping out great players in every draft, so by default, people are getting pushed out in general. You know what I'm saying? It's the NFL, not for long, not how that go. Then at the same time, you got to also think like, shit. At some point, 27 is 3 years away from 30, and 3 years in this league is like 3 weeks legit. So it's like, now I gotta start getting ready to prep the next guy to come up. So, I mean,
What's that saying? And I want to say something like, you ain't got to get ready, but get ready. What's that saying, Fred? You know what I'm trying to say?
You gotta be.
if you stay ready, you
Stay
don't gotta
ready.
get
You
ready.
gotta get ready.
Right, there you go. Simple as that. So when you see a guy 27, if a guy 27 years old and you just now trying to figure out who's the next guy and then you're not ready. You know what I'm saying? That guy got to be 25 and you looking for his replacement. Simple as that. And you building that replacement. If you ain't doing that, you ain't ready. Simple as that. All right, Craig, man, look, listen, the Baltimore Ravens and the Browns are about to key up. What are the keys for Baltimore in this game?
Establish your dominance, man. For me, I just stay balanced on offense. Dominating with your run and still have your pass. Take shots down the field. Um, and just pull this game out. I feel like you don't want the Browns to be confident when you play. I think you want to really establish dominance to me. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
in our last two matchups, he was confident. We established, but we didn't keep our foot on the gas, which let his confidence get him right back in these games. We want to have a fast start and finish. And on the
Don't let
flip
up.
side, what is your advice for the Browns?
Advice to the Browns is show them that you're here to stay. Show them that the last year wasn't a fluke. Um, play solid defense. Um, you guys obviously know each other. You're in the same division, so
Mm-hmm.
learn, keep on his tendencies. Take the open guy, try not to make too many mistakes against that defense, and ball out, man. If he can keep you into a close game, into striking distance, he's winning. You know what I'm saying? So not saying he's gonna win the game, but he's winning in the sense of it in his
Exactly.
head. You know what I mean? He's in the game. You know what I'm saying? So as long as he can keep it close, anything can happen in that fourth quarter. So
For sure.
um,
All right, man. Well, there you go. There you have it right now. I appreciate y'all wilding out with me on the show for my birthday tonight. Appreciate it, man. Well, this morning, however you want to call it. And we're going to stop this broadcast. We're coming right back up with the motherfucking Browns and Ravens. Baltimore travels to dirty ass Ohio to take on Matt Corral and this Bill Walsh West Coast offense. See you in a second. You out there. Let's get it.